for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm Ayansa JT Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Ekule. Good evening. I'd like to give thanks to your Ori, your ancestors, and your spirit guides for leading you here tonight. That was music from Queen Latifah from the Dana Owens album California Dreamin'. On your Mercury and Uranus rule, Oya venerated Wednesday is 6 minutes past your 9 o'clock hour Central Standard Time, and time for your nightly mystic forecast, where we recap the energy of today and use the last 3 hours to do something with it before we prepare energetically for what's to come tomorrow. I am broadcasting live from my YouTube page, so go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button if you're watching this from YouTube so that you can be notified when the nightly mystic forecast comes on. Video features of other areas of 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio, pages from my psychic diaries, and performance events. I am also broadcasting from my 222.9 The Mothership Facebook page, my Wednesdaily Facebook and Instagram, the Malbit Planetarium. If you're watching from that, I know I'm in the galaxies and all, but send a sister a few stars. We want to keep this going, don't we? Of course, I am broadcasting over the airwaves of 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio. And if you're listening from there, from your Androids, your iPhones, anything that's got a Bluetooth in your cars, in your offices, and wherever you are traveling, that road less traveled, you're hearing this voice of mine over the sounds of Sade's Jezebel. No point intended, but that energy does have its purposes when it's kept in balance. It is day 3 of the week, the day that the Most High, according to the book of Genesis, created the solar systems, the planets, the quasars, and the galaxies, just for us to watch the stars. And may the stars be for seeing signs and prophecies, predictions of what's to come. This is what the Most High created these things for, and that's what the book of Genesis says. In Ifa Orisha tradition, in many lineages, Wednesday, that's why I spell it Winds, is the day for the Orisha Oya, the warrior goddess of change, transformations, all of those type of things. And she brings them in cool breezes or tornadoes, depending on how obedient or how hard-headed you are. Guess who my Orisha mama is? Hey, hey, hey. I am Ayansa J. Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, and the sole creator of 222.9 The Mothership Radio. And yes, over the airwaves, that's right up Oya's alley in the wind. So call me a voice of the wind. Hint, hint. Ibashe Ojoriru. Ojoriru is the Yoruba day and Wednesday, meaning the day of confusion. And confusion can be a good thing if we have the humility to sort it out. Because you see, Eshu does a lot of work on Wednesdays too, because it's day 3. There's Eshu's number. Mercury is the primary ruling planet of Wednesday, and Mercury is considered the messenger of the gods by Rome. And in the Ifa tradition, which predates the Roman tradition, Ifa, name for the messenger of gods, is Eshu. Okay? So there's a double play of Eshu there, and Oya's number is 9, which is 3 squared. So Oya and Eshu tend to work a lot together, especially when it comes to changes. So both of those planets move us into communication with the heavens. thoughts do. And they shoes taking things up to the heavens, or Yah is spinning things around so that these transformations bring you what you are manifesting. So keep your eye on your vibration. If you were listening to 222.9 Mothership Internet Radio all day today, because mind you, it is a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week groove, in veneration to the Orisha Oya, we had the Rising Bimbe from 7 to 9. From 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., we had sleep meditation to the third eye chakra, followed by the Oya's Rising Bimbe at 7 a.m. Then you had the exotic mothers of song all day long. Poetry at 6 o'clock. Now, I have poetry every night at 6 o'clock on the mothership, but Wednesday, I hog it all to myself. Wednesday night is a one woman poetry show with all straight up bars from yours truly. Then we had a lyricless interlude at 8 o'clock right before we forecasting at 9. So I'm going to give you guys that are watching a little taste of what you get every Wednesday. You beam up to 222.9 the Mothership Internet Radio. Those of you that are listening, just meditate on Sade's groove. I'll be right back. Wednesdays, Mercury, Uranus, purples, Ibashe Oya, Ibashe Nanaburu, maroons, exotic voices of the mothers. Welcome to Wednesdays on the Mothership, 222.9. Beam up. And we're back. So, just in case you're just now joining us, I am Ayanza J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. So, before the break, we talked about Wednesdays in general and what 222.9 does to keep you aligned with natural Wednesday energy. Now, let's talk about what's so special about this particular Wednesday that came. And this Wednesday that came, I titled Oya, the wind in Obatala's white. Why? Because the daily numerology is in 8. 8 is the number of infinity, and 8 is also the number sacred to Obatala in Orisha culture. And Obatala is the spiritual essence that represents purity, humility, patience, and perseverance. Now, that can seem like a conflict with the swift movement of Oya's whirlwinds, or is it? Obatala is known as the king of the Orisha because he carries the prototype of every Orisha when they work in their highest array. So, with Obatala energy coming on today, swirling up in Oya's whirlwind and right at Eshu's crossroads at a day 12, which is 3 by 4. So that's Eshu sneaking some crossroads in on every angle, north, south, east, west, and 12 is 3 by 4. Fusing that with the energy of humility and patience and perseverance, and you have that mixed up in Oya's whirlwind, it becomes what? A cool and swift breeze. Why? Because one of the reasons one of Obatala's animals is a snail is because he's telling you to slow down. Allow yourself to slow down. Because when you're fixated on one destination, you skip the journey. When you surrender to the journey, the destinations are many. So there's some Oya's wind and Obatala's white for you. So those of you that practice Ifa Orisha tradition, this will be a good time to meditate or make some type of prayer or adimu to Obatala and Oya and find the balance between persevering, keeping that swift pace, but still being patient in Obatala's essence. It is the third Wednesday of Zodiac House 4 season and summer solstice, and Lord have mercy, it is hot. Okay? Especially those of us that are in the deep South USA, honey, this is fish grease heat down here. But learn to take the positives from what may appear to be the negatives. When you find a place with some shade, go out in the heat of the day, take yourself a jug of water, and dare yourself to sweat, detox, and enjoy a free sauna from Mother Nature. Tonight's moon is waning in Taurus, shifting into Gemini. So, Taurus is the house of values. Obatala's number is infinite. Venus energy is at play with the moon, and Oya is stirring it all up. This might be a good time to banish all that works against your values. And yes, I may be talking a little bit about material values, but not just material values. The roads you're taking to achieve those material values. You got about 2 hours and some change to meditate on that before the clock strikes 12 and we shift into Jupiter's expansion. More on that later on in the broadcast. Right now, I'm going to take a break, sip my tea, and when I come back, we're going to talk about what's going on in the planets. I'm Ayanta J. Muse, and this is your nightly Mystic Forecast on your Mystic Haven on the airwaves, 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up. Wednesday climatic checkpoint, center of a 7-day cycle. Mercury is rising, Eiffel Tower high in the mind, cloud 9. Thoughts are expanding as air under fire pressure. Uranus for those on the higher levels, something for those living divine. Mystic cosmos are more than midweek happy hour cocktails. Today, raise the bar on driven goals from yesterday. Winds change as esoteric levels of an all-time high that seems strange by nightfall. The sky's black. Look at glow stars and wonder how they align. Express yourself to you and others, the spectrums of all your inner colors. Find an outward space beyond the place to keep in mind. It's Wednesday. And Ayanta J. Muse short poem. And we're back. So in case you're just now joining us, I'm Ayanta J. Muse, and this is your nightly Mystic Forecast. We are on the second to the last day of Cancer season, second decan. So if you were born between the 2nd and the 12th, you are actually half Scorpio. And if you were born on this day, happy solar return. May Olodumare, your ancestors, Ifa and the Orisha, bless you with many, many more filled with Bobo Ire. And those of you that don't know what Bobo Ire means, that just means many blessings. If you were born on this day, you were blessed with an unlimited ability. You would find success in anything if you undertook it and applied all your efforts faithfully. You are upright and have fastidious taste around judgment. You are dependable and loving and enjoy and seek a harmonious life with pleasant surroundings. And if that's how you vibrate, honey, there's no reason you should not manifest it. So those of you that have people in your life born on July 12th, make sure you give them some love. And everyone in the other 11 houses, y'all give all those crab people they love in their season, because you know you're going to want people to help you turn up when it's your zodiac season. But I hate to be a little funky, but we got about 9 days left of Zodiac House 4 season before it is Leo season. Zodiac House 5, stand up. Yes, the mother of the mothership is a Leo, a sun-ruled goddess that is passing through all 12 houses amicably. So, Leos, y'all get ready to turn up, because it's going to get real over here on the mothership. Telling you right now. And the comedic way of the stars, we are still in the season of Anubis until tomorrow. We shift into Bast on the 14th. In the 12 figures of African spirituality way of the stars, we are in the season of the ants. No, we're not. We're in the season of the witch and the judge. That is a fire sign. Your sense of touch is very sensitive and you tend to turn up on Thursday. And so does Oya. There will be more on other astrology systems as the show and the system develops. As of right now, I'm still kind of in the foreplay stage, if you will. I am Ianta J Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. When I come back, we're going to talk about the planets. Before sight, before sight of shells, there were stanzas, stanzas of my soliloquies. Before sight of wisdom, before sight of worship, there was only my written word, Afoshe. Before sight of divination, before sight of Dafa, there were diaries, diaries in dozens. Before sight of revelation, before sight of reason, there were only my rhapsodomancies of rhyme, rearranged to rhythms of my lipstick-kissed alchemy, alchemies of my depths, my valleys, my mountains, my visions, my empathies, my testimonies, my joys, my sorrows, my love. Before sight of awakening, before sight of airwaves, before sight of anointing, there were archives of my allegories. Before sight of clarity, before sight of conversion and clergy call, there were collections of my ink prints. Before sight of prophecy, before sight of priestesshood, there was poetry, poetries that bear my fruit. There was me. Purples, rich maroons, rich browns, rainbows, Iansa's gourd bottle art, Iansa's gourd bottle art digital prints, books, Malbec planetarium articles, and teachings, handmade healing stone jewelry, astrology charts, astrology readings, astrology inspired mystic gifts, and so much more. It's all inside the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Mercury Uranus Collection. And we're back. So, in case you're just now joining us, I'm Mayanta J Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. So, here's what's going on with the planets right about now. We're currently in the middle of 3 retrogrades and we're heading into a fourth. So, the first planet is Pluto. So, give the Scorpios in your life a little bit more breathing room. If you are a Scorpio, take it easy on yourself because if your energy is a little tricky, it's because your planet is moving backwards. It's been doing so since May 1st and will continue to do so until Wednesday, October 11th. And this is a little subtle, tricky retrograde, right? Because it's very subtle because Pluto is the farthest planet that we know from the planet Earth and from the sun. And Pluto is currently in the house of Aquarius, so that's in a space of deep inner knowing. And there's certain things that don't always have to make sense for you to know what you know. And that's what intuition comes to teach us. So embrace those inner transformations, close those old chapters, end those old relationships. As Pluto is the planet of rejuvenation, not just the higher octave of Mars. The second planet that we have in retrograde tonight is the trickster planet of Saturn. So if you are a Capricorn or an Aquarius, or you are close to a Capricorn or an Aquarius, give them a little extra room to breathe. Because if their energy is a little trippy, it's because it's because their planet is in retrograde. Okay? And Saturn is the trickster planet that deals with power, karma, divine justice, carnal energy, power, that ego self. You know what I mean? And it's in the house of Pisces. So this is where power, trickster energy meets that belief and intuition and all that astral projecting level, right? So, with that planet in retrograde, we want to pay close attention to important life lessons. We need to embrace those deeper crossroads, those crossroads between our ego selves, our spirit selves, and the past that they're going to lead us on. This is a good time to recheck your priorities to make sure you have them in the correct divine order. This is the time to master your self discipline and deepen your sense of self expression. There are many rewards for self mastery, as freedom and discipline go hand in hand. I like to say freedom without discipline is just dumb. But anywho, the third planet that's in retrograde is Neptune. That planet carries a lot of Olokun and Yemaja energy. Like Saturn Day carries a lot of Aishu. Saturn carries a lot of Aishu and Babaluaye energy. Pluto represents a lot of Ogun Onire energy. So, Neptune is a planet of divine compassion, ideals, and spirituality. Ah, we went into Neptune retrograde on June the 30th. We will be coming out on December 6th. And Neptune is currently in its strongest house, the house of Pisces. So, all the Pisces people out there, be easy on yourself because your planet is moving backwards, and that may be the reason things are going haywire. That those of us that know Pisces, let's just practice a little bit more patience with them, because this is how we can use the knowledge of astrology to have a better understanding of each other and more compassion for each other as people. So, those of us that are born under Neptune's rule, which is Pisces, allow yourself to just be easy. This is a time to be mindful of delusionism. Stay grounded in what's true to you to avoid escapism. Stay connected to things and people that keep you grounded. Reaccess your dreams and embrace your confusions, because any confusion that comes about is actually an opportunity to gain a higher perspective. The fourth planet that we are headed into, we are 11 days away from Venus retrograde. And of course, that's Oshun energy: love, sex, money, beauty, all of those things. And that's a short retrograde going in on July 23rd and coming out on September 4th. This is not a good time to start a new relationship. No weddings, no marriage plans, no cosmic surgeries, or new tattoos. Get ready for Groundhog Day, because your exes are going to come creepy crawling back. Before you take them back, because some exes are meant to return for you to be with them, others are meant for you to learn the lesson and move on. Either way, just make sure you learn the lesson. And this is not the time to spend on anything frivolous. So there's your nightly quasar report going on. And when I come back, we're going to get to your nightly mystic tarot draw. I'm Mayanza J. Muse, and this is the forecast. Love and light, villagers. I'm Mayanza J.T. Muse, and in my hands is a book project that I am very happy to say that my writing graced the pages of. It's Evo, Evolution of a Woman, by Shamir Bacon Destin, co-authored by the Real Housewives of Houston. 13 women came together and put our stories of trial, tribulation, soul battles, and how they turned into triumphs, victories, and ultimately, evolution. My space is chapter 9, A Storm the Whole Time, and it speaks of my story of the conversion between Christianity and nature based faith. So go ahead and take a look at the comment section for the link to get your physical signed copy, how you can watch the interview between Shamir Bacon Destin and myself, and how you can get the audio version of this book when you become a member of 222.9 The Mothership. It also features one of my favorite poems that I've written, and it's called Within, the Story of Transformation. I'll put the link to that one up as well. Evo, Evolution of a Woman. This comes real handy for those that need that little extra push out of their own trials and tribulations. After all, 2022 is the year of the Divine Feminine. Make this collaboration yours today. Ashe. Tarot readings. A lot like peach cobbler. You may have had them before, but you've never tried mine. 12 months, 13 cards, a yearly prediction only needing to be done once a year. Great for New Year celebrations and or solar returns. The Sun Circle Tarot Reading, a signature spread by Ayansa JT Muse, brought to you by the Mothership Mystic Boutique. If you are hearing this over Mothership Airwaves, visit 222.9 The Mothership's Facebook page for the links to book your appointment. If you are seeing this online, simply click the link in the description box below this video to book your Sun Circle reading appointment. Ashe. And we're back. So those of you that are listening from the Mothership's airwaves are hearing my voice over the sounds of Jezebel by Sade. Those of you that are watching me on Instagram are watching me shift tea and operate the board as I give the forecast. So the Instagrammers get to kind of chill with me behind the scenes. Those of you that are watching from Facebook and YouTube are looking at your nightly tarot cards brought to you by the Mayan Oracle Tarot deck, which is my favorite of the 6 that I have. And as you can see, there are 2 cards here instead of 1, because when I did my daily shuffle on my Facebook page, 2 cards flew out while I was shuffling. The New Myth and the Con. Uh-oh. I need to show them to you how they were shown to me. So let me see. Because both of these cards showed up inverted, so I need to turn them back over. Ah, there we go. I'll come back here, Garnet Stone. Okay. Now, the literature of these cards is so beautiful. I'm just going to share some of the literature tonight. So as you can see, the first card is one of the lenses called New Myth. The Mayan Oracle is a tarot deck that only has 3 suits instead of 4. The numbers, the lenses, and the starglyph. And the New Myth card is one of the starglyphs. It speaks to personal myth, metamyth, living in purpose, miracle on earth, the path of innocence, and the present moment. And it says, child of the sun, you are being called to wakefulness, to your place in the new myth. A great miracle is coming for planet Earth, and the time is now. A new consciousness will be created by the children of the sun, as they ascend to Earth, to a place amongst the stars. Notice the metaphors of your daily life. You are the miracle of the new myth unfolding. You've come to Earth with a purpose, a plan, and a master blueprint that is encoded in your feelings. Live in harmony with the plan. That means follow your heart and allow yourself to do what's on your Ori. And your Ori is not just on top of your head. Your Ori is throughout your body. But when listening to your heart, it's the Ori Okan. Open yourself to the great mystery and the part you have to play in it. And from now on, there really are no more roadmaps, creeds, or philosophies. From here on, your direction comes straight from the universe moment by moment. And this is the path of innocence, the path of trust. And here, each step is walked only once, and the universe speaks in the voice of the present. So, what this card is saying is that it's time to break all the ice of everything we've been taught, everything we've been given, process it, but make it yours. And that's how your existence becomes your God story, your own Bible book, by following the divine in the present moment, just as the prophets did who wrote the previous books. And in doing that, it led to card number 2, which is the con card. This is the card that came up second. Let me show this card to the Instagram followers. So this is the card, but it showed up upside down like this. So it was the new myth inverted. Okay, and then the second card that appeared was the con card. So let's lay this one on top so we can get the message from it too, because both of these cards just flew out of the deck as I was shuffling on my earlier read. So the con card is one of the star glyphs, or one of the major arcanes in this deck, if you will. And it represents seeding manifestation, self-germination, creating fertile ground, gestation, opening, erupting possibility. But it showed up inverted. So that means there's some shadow wisdom that needs to be dealt with here. And that shadow wisdom is pertaining to feelings of insecurity, limiting of new possibilities, choosing to remain safe at the expense of awakening and growth, and restricted self-concept. So let's make it plain here, people. It's time to disrespect the hell out of your comfort zone, because everything that's comfort is working against growth. A chicken doesn't hatch out of an egg because it's comfortable inside of the shell. The plants don't emerge from the ground because they stay comfortable in the seed. So it's time to push a little harder for that new self, is what Khan is coming to teach. And what's the fuel of the push? Everything you've learned so far that you've ground into a fine powder, tossed it in a smoothie, and created yourself a new myth. So that's what this Wednesday's tarot message comes to teach. And should you need a personal reading, I've already placed the links in the description box for you to book your own personal session with yours truly, because I'm not just the Black Madonna of the airwaves and the sole creator of 222.9, a mothership, honey. I am a 9-year seasoned spiritualist. And I'd like to say I'm pretty good at it, if I do say so myself. And because I am a priestess and agent of Oya, I master when things are happening. I master changes. So if you're going through any changes and you need to talk about it, I am more than assertive that I can help you sort it out, honey. I am Mayantha J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we got to talk about what's happening in the quasars tomorrow. After this forecast wraps in 20 minutes, when the clock strikes 10, stay tuned. And those of you that are watching on the videos, beam on up to the mothership and make it a part of your life like you would any other radio station. It's loaded with sleep meditations, Orisha music, old school Black Genius, old school throwback vinyl records, planetarily aligned Orisha venerating, just waiting on you to push the button and beam up. So at 10 o'clock, we're going to slow it down and get to my visions of what love looks like. When the clock strikes 12, we shift into sacral chakra sleep meditation. We're going to talk more about Thursday in just a moment. I'm Mayantha J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Beam up. All this spiritual stuff, you need somebody to just make it plain. Are you trying to divinely align? Are you a starseed? Are you too busy building the kingdom, building the queendom to come for all the madness going on in the world today? Methods of emotional healing? Are you taking your first steps down your spiritual path? Want a more practical understanding of the Orisha? Do animals seem to communicate with you? Do you need to sort out some things about love? Do you see numbers? Spiritual signs? Need somebody to just make it plain? Does your love for esoteric wisdom coin you a student of life? Do you like wisdom in poetic bars? Are you ready to debunk the spookism behind ancestor veneration? Want to learn how to make medicine? Want to learn about different tools of divination? Tantric spiritual sex secrets? Ways to utilize each and every moon? Do you walk the road less traveled? Are you considered strange by society? Are you discovering your spiritual gifts? Do you want to taste the power of words through incantation? Do you want to get into some unorthodox Bible teachings? Do you dream often? Do you long to explore the secrets of the earth's endless mysteries? Do you study the stars? Do you need tips on building good character? Do you want to know more about how to interpret dreams? Do you love some good literature? Need somebody to just make it plain? Then indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. And indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. And indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. The art of spirituality in Iyansa J. Muse's Orbit. Iyansa J. Muse's Orbit is a monthly subscription service that features free and exclusive content dedicated to your versatile, well-rounded, deeper understanding of spirituality. It comes from all angles, teaches all kinds of lessons, and it cooks like a gumbo, a whole bunch of different spiritual ingredients and one spiritually flavorful soup. And let that soup feed your soul and enhance your highest spiritual life. It even features an opportunity to have a one-on-one counseling session with yours truly. So, don't get left behind. Get beamed up to the orbit. All proceeds go to 222.9 The Mothership, Mystic Internet Radio. Sign up for the 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio email list to stay in the exclusive loop of what's going on in the orbit. Ashe. In Iyansa J. Muse's Orbit. High-level spiritual wisdom. Fully flavored with no holds barred. A question on the heart is the spirit's thirst for clarity. Readings, consultations, I call them intuitive counseling sessions, but you know what I mean. They're kind of like gumbo or peach cobbler. You may have tried many, but you haven't had mine. I can say I met the divine when I was about 9. Ever since I was 16, I found myself wondering, do I have an invisible "please come tell me your business" sign taped to my forehead? Then one day I was sitting at the bus stop at a crossroad, and I had the audacity to ask the goddess, why was I even sent to earth? And I became an ethereal, intuitive counselor. And the universe has been answering that question over and over again, one phone call at a time, for the last 9 years. From there, in between sessions, I began to relentlessly apply, align, and study the ways of the stars and of the ancients. 3 years in, Orisha priestesshood to Oya came knocking. Hence the Iya in the name Iyansa J, Iyansa, an Oya praise name. Oya is the Orisha who brings radical transformation and change. Make no mistake about it now, baby. I am no soothsayer. I am no fortune teller. I'm not a private investigator. I don't cast love spells. I'm not an emotional punching bag. I'm not a spiritual trash dump. I am not a haven for jinn spirits. I give guidance with clarity, with wisdom, with love, with truth. I unlock keys to your spiritual growth and your highest destiny according to your unique design. Ready for some evolutionary change? Let's talk. Did you enjoy your astrology sip in the Malbec Planetarium? I hope so. Well, let's see how that energy expands when we take it inside for a deeper meaning with I Chings and Scarlet Serenes. That's www.poeticsinchanges. I bet you won't meet me there tomorrow. Ashe. And we're back. So in case you're just now joining us, I'm Mayanza J. Muse, and this is The Forecast. So Thursday's energy brings something really interesting. And I titled today's show, Shango or Rumila. What did they exchange? Yeah, do the takeaway dance. That'll be tomorrow, the 13th of July, 2023. We will be entering into the first day of Cancer season's third decan. So if you were born on that day, you were actually born half Pisces. I titled the day Shango and Oya Do the Takeaway Dance because the daily numerology shifts from Obatala's 8 into Oya's 9. 9 is the number of finality as Jupiter energies bring about an expansion. So whatever's getting ready to blow out of your life is getting ready to blow out of your life in a big, major, expansive way. So don't be afraid of the storms you're going through in your life. That's just Oya clearing out old debris that needs to be cleared out so better things can come. Because the dangerous thing about our comfort zone is we often get comfortable in spaces that are no longer good for us and no longer serve our higher being, almost like pushing through a cocoon. So you may want to put some prayers up in the air for Oya to make those transformations gentle breezes as Shango fires up your passion and your inner courage to accept change. Because tomorrow vibes on a 9, so some things are coming to an end tomorrow. Get ready. It will be the fourth Thursday of Cancer season and summer solstice, and the moon tonight will be waning in Gemini. So, with the moon waning in Gemini, that's the house dealing with some Mercury energy. Mercury rising as Jupiter is expanding, and the moon is taking things away. So that's Mercury, Jupiter, and Moon energy. So you want to banish things that keep your dualities from working together. Because Gemini does deal with duality energy, but we tend to think our egos are a bad thing. But when you leave just your spirit, you run out of cheeks to turn. You can't keep turning the other cheek before you meet somebody else. It just isn't natural. So allow yourself to create more balance with your dualities as opposed to victimizing yourself or overly exuding yourself to where you're victimizing. Allow your ego and your spirit to find that place where they work together as the moon in Gemini banishes all division between your dualities. These are energies of emotion, communication, as well as expansion. But with 3 planets in retrograde, if I didn't know better, I would say that expansive energy is coming from within. Ashe, Ashe. You join me tomorrow on the mothership. It's going to be the Funky Fire Starter Fathers of Song. And I mean, not the smooth brothers like Lou Rawls and Kim and Pharaoh Sanders. I'm talking about the funkified, shake it in your face brothers like the Ohio Players. Sly and the Family Stone, Prince, Michael Jackson, James Brown, Bootsy Collins. You know what I mean. So if you want to funk up your day cosmically aligned with the energy of Shango and bringing that fire energy into your world, make sure you beam into 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio and don't touch that dial. I'm Mayanta J. Muse, and this is 222.9 The Mothership, Mystic Internet Radio for the world less traveled. And this is your forecast. Thursdays breads Jupiter expansion. Eat cheese. Sensual voices of the fathers. Sacral chakra healing. Ibashe Shango, Ibashe Dada, Ibashe Aganju. Welcome to Thursdays on the Mothership. 222.9. Beam up. And we're back. Thank you for joining me for the forecast. I hope you gained some things that you can spiritually enhance your life and give practical application and make walk in a higher path an everyday thing. Stay tuned for the rising Bimbe that comes with your Shango ruling day, followed by the funky fire starter fathers of song. And remember, the sky is big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of George Clinton, free your mind and your ass will follow. This has been your forecast, and you have a good one. I'm heading back to making more music, mystics, and mojo. This is Ionsa J. Muse signing off. Every day is special. Why not find out mystically how? This is the forecast on your Mystic Music Haven on the airwaves. 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up.